Hi, welcome to my channel. My channel is to be discussing all things related to being a mum and things that I have found challenging, things that people I would have liked to have known, and things that I really enjoy. I have two children. One is 2 years old. The other one is 10 weeks old. And with two, it's a lot more harder. And there's things that I found that really helped with adapting to having two children. One thing was, don't be afraid to do what is right for you, because what is right for you is right for your baby. For example, I bottle feed my baby formula. The reason for this is on day, I think it was 2 in the hospital, I had a cesarean, and my milk hadn't come in properly yet, and the baby was hungry. He was crying, every 5 minutes he was getting up, and the midwives kept coming in and saying, oh, you're going to be up all night and things like that. And I just had a surgery, and I was exhausted, so I needed my body to recover. So yes, I was giving him breast milk, but the breast milk wasn't enough. So I just ended up giving formula, and he slept. So look, it's everybody's choice on what works for you, but I think that there is a lot of shame around giving babies formula. And I'm not saying, breast or formula, just, it's your choice. But a happy baby is a fed baby. A fed baby is a happy mummy, right? And I slept on the second night. He woke up twice. So you have to think about what is right for you and your well-being, because it's important. And I don't know why people, with my first child, I had an emergency cesarean as well. I was breastfeeding, I was pumping, and I was topping up with formula. All these 3 things I was expected to do after having an emergency cesarean, when my body's still recovering. I'm still adapting to being a new mum. And then you got the feeding schedule. All these different things change. And I got myself so stressed and so worried that it just wasn't worth the stress, And now I have 2. I had to okay, it's not just me I have to worry about and the baby. I've also got another baby to think about. And I felt so much better going, no, this is what I'm going to do. It worked for me last time. He's fine. But it's just, I found that it's really hard. And just the judgment that you feel and the guilt that you feel, because people will look at you funny and say, oh, you gotta feed your baby. Like, formula is poison for babies. Well, in actual fact, I'm not saying formula is better for babies, no. But if you can't breastfeed, if you can't give your baby enough, thank goodness we have formula to give them, and he's healthy, he's happy, he's sleeping. These things are more important to feeding schedule that I'm getting exhausted and stressed about. So a few other things that I also found. I also struggled with postpartum anxiety, and not a lot of people go on about this. Not a lot of people will say, you know, will realise that anxiety can become something that is, I don't know, like something that just, it's horrible things. Unlike depression, it just, you think it's normal, you know, because you think, okay, I'm worrying, I'm crying, but actually you think, okay, wait a minute, there's got to be a better way of coping with things. There's got to be, and I found like things like the anxiety that I would feel from the pressure, from feeding, all these things, and I just had to find a way to cope with it. And you're trying to find a way to feed your baby as well. And after I saw a doctor, you know, and I don't know if where they have a mental health plan, and they put me on a mental health plan, and they recommended for me to go and see a specialist in postpartum anxiety. However, what is so messed up about the mental health system in this country is if you're struggling postpartum depression or anxiety, you're expected to wait for these clinics at least 6 weeks before seeing someone that can help you. And I ended up going to a psychotherapist, which the gap fee was a lot higher, and it was just, I didn't, like, you're there, yes, I need help, I can't afford it, but what's the alternative, you know? Spending time at home struggling and it getting worse, you know? No, like, so there needs to be more support for women and other things, postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, because a lot of women out there, because of the pressure, because you're adapting to a new life, you all of a sudden you've got this little baby to look after, and the pressure is unbelievably tense, you know, and people don't talk about it. People don't say, oh, actually I'm struggling with this, or it's more like, well, this is what you're doing wrong, you know, like, but we all get it. We all are in the same boat, you know. So, ladies, if you're out there, you have a little baby and you're getting exhausted, if your husband's home or if you've got it, take 5 minutes, half an hour, go for a coffee, go see your friends, because you need time for yourself, you know, and you feel guilty. In the beginning, you feel guilty, God, like, I left my baby. People are like, oh, what, you leaving your baby after? So no, you need to do that for yourself, you know. Yeah, so I hope that helps you. I will be posting once a week on these things, so I hope that it helps you. Thank you. See you next week.